Hey guys, welcome back to Factorio. Now, let's see, we have a handful of things that we're gonna have to get done. Look at all this stone, that's awesome. Right, I was starting to pave. Did a pretty good job of that. Right, and then I added all of this automation stuff, so let's take a look on it. Definitely gonna need more iron, so that's probably the next thing I have to do, but at least we have some level of automated belts. Wow, that was pretty quick too. Let's just grab a handful of these because we're gonna need them. And these will fill up eventually. The big thing is we just need to increase our iron production, clearly. Maybe I'll have to pave multiple paths. Let's see. Well, we have a little bit more input, so it's a bit of both. I'm gonna expand the furnace stacks first, and then I'll expand the mining. I guess I'll just do both. Classic. So far, I think this game is going pretty well. It's pretty fun for me. We're still sort of just in our little box here. The pollution's sort of not as big of a deal because we just haven't been researching. So our production of everything is just really slow. I might need to start getting some lamps soon. It is pretty dark. Oh, I definitely need to automate inserters, don't I? Yeah. I need to just pick up these scraps of iron. At least we have a little bit on these belts just waiting here. So that will help. Need to do small electric units, so that's going to need some copper and gears. And then the previous inserter, which is going to take those things. Okay, that's not too bad. It's mostly just a lot of iron. And it seems like it replaces green circuits for a lot of things. By it, I mean these like small electric motors. So you don't actually need green circuits until fast inserters. That's kind of nice. Okay, well, this is waiting. Hopefully I'll remember to go back and place those. But let's work on the input. Yeah, so this one's really limited by the stone. So I'd really like just have another belt coming through here, I guess. We do have all of this we need to tear down, so I'll get to work on that, I guess. And then this whole fuel belt is gonna fill up my inventory. How many electric do we have? A good amount. Good enough amount. Yeah, we got plenty of room. And this will clear up all this space. Have to take this all the way back. That's funny. But yeah, that makes sense. Power is always good to check on, but we're not doing much, so it's not going to be limited. But the moment we're actually using all the miners, it's going to slow down a lot more. The problem is all these mixed mining outputs are going to just bottleneck through one of the ores. Just like we're seeing here. So I definitely want at least one just like iron independent path, I think. Even though I'd really like to mine this little area, I want one that's basically just pure iron. And I guess it's gonna have to come down like here. There we go. I'll connect that in a moment. I'm blind. There it is. Maybe I'll do the very top here where it's really just in an awkward shape. And we can definitely not have too many of these. We're gonna need plenty of iron. Right. And I'll just have to set the input priority to be the stone one so that the stone doesn't get bottlenecked. So input priority should be the left. But we'll still have this if we need it. And then similarly... no, I think that's fine, because the copper's going to get backed up too. And we do have all of this fuel. Nice. I need to place these inserters. And hopefully eventually, yep, it will be at least a little better. And then we can expand that later. But what we really need is to continue our automation. I guess basically like a mall. Because we need more inserters. And we're probably going to need assembling machines and stuff if we're actually going to make an entire, like, mini base here. So I think I'll just sort of continue that all on this side. We have our belts. Pipes are probably... they might be worth automating. I'm not sure. Definitely gonna need that eventually. Bring these belts over. And we can pave a little bit forward just to plan. Might need to pave a lot more in the future, but for now, it's probably okay. We have tons of iron on us. Let's craft some more of these. We're definitely going to need more inserters. Probably going to need more power poles, even though they're the annoying power poles. Thought I grabbed splitters. That's interesting. I guess there just weren't that many made. Okay, so for inserters, we need burner inserters, which have 2 ingredients. And we need electric motors, which has 3, which is nice. So let's do something like this. So this will just be the iron belt for it. And we will need a copper line over here too. That needs 6 in about a second. Well, that's fine. I'm not going to worry about ratios much. So the iron will be fine. So making burner inserters won't be a problem. Maybe I'll do that down here and then feed it down. So if this is the inserter one, this is that one, then we need a gear one and copper wire one. I could theoretically have 2 copper wires. Because if this, let's just say it needs 6 every second, this makes 4 every second, then I can afford to do something like this. And then we'll have a copper line coming up over here. And these should probably be fast inserters. Bring this up. And let's bring these over just so we remember where they're going to have to be. So it's got to be copper. I think since the other side's going to be stone, I'll take copper out this way. Something like, I don't know, something like this. And then we just need... oof, this isn't really enough room. Yeah, I definitely didn't plan this perfectly. That's okay. I have the basic idea down. I just have to move everything. Alright, so we need... First things first, we're going to need everything for this. So let's say iron sticks and engines. If we do something like this, that will work with longhand inserters. Except, no, what I'd have to do is move this up one. This is really jank, I love it. And then we need an inserter there, so we need this inserter to be here, this one here, and then this one here. Single cylinder engines. Oh, do they need gears? Oh boy. Well, let's make that like this. And to get the gears... Oh, I hate it, so I'm definitely doing it. Wow, this is... I hope you're taking notes, because this is about the best you could possibly get. But that will work. Not perfectly, but it will. This is actually pretty slow, that's funny. Okay. Now, we just need to make the small electric motors. I don't think we'll ever have too many inserters, especially considering they're going to be used for other recipes. So I'm just going to fill up the whole chest. Now do I have? I do have some on me. Alright, now we just need whatever we had before, which I completely forgot, but it was something like 2 copper cables into something else. Alright, so this is small electric motors, and then a gear, and then 2 copper. I'll power everything after when we actually see what we need. Just wait, I'll drag this up. Let's set the recipes while we're waiting. Okay. And now it's working. That's still way better than handcrafting them. I would like to add fast inserters, but we don't have the green circuits yet anyway, so I think I'll just wait on it, but yeah, it's fine. Having this is going to make a big difference. Now again, we have to increase our iron supply. Maybe I'll make another path, but... Well, we're gonna need steel furnaces over there. Hopefully I left enough room for it. Okay, so we are limited by the input again. Need copper. We have plenty of copper, good. And the nice thing is that by taking copper, we improve our iron input. Same thing with stone a little bit. So taking a little stone will help. But we do just need like more miners. Look at all that iron I want to take. But there's just so much stone, and since we're not making green circuits yet, there's not much we can really do other than hand dealing with it, which just isn't a good idea. I don't really care about the priority here. I'm just going to send them together. We do have to wait. How? Yeah, our power is definitely getting limited now that we have all these miners online. So let's sort of work on expanding this a little bit. We are going to need more fuel processors. These are really interesting. So what's the ideal sort of way to deal with these? I mean, we could just do like 1 and 1. We're gonna need a lot of them though, so having some symmetric design might be a good idea. Are these real rocks? No. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just have 10. That's gonna be overkill, but that's what we want. We're gonna need some more fast inserters. Just eat up all this iron. I mean, I do have a lot of stone brick. I could just start paving, but we're going to need a lot more stone brick because of the green circuits. So I don't just want to throw it all away. You just robbed all of these. We already have 2 stacks of inserters. That's great. Plenty of belts. Could use more splitters, though. That's good, and I'll even put the 10 back. I'll dump off these burner inserters because I don't care about them. Let's go dump the little bit of iron, and then we're going to start to have our things being crafted. I'll have to automate all of this stuff. I guess I can pave this. And it's really good because the more stone brick that we can steal, the better. Good, now the stone's going to be moving, which will bring down the iron that we wanted. Look at that. That whole little line is going to join. Oh, this whole section's almost entirely iron. That's so satisfying to watch. How's our power? Because we just turned on all of those. Yeah. look at the animation. They're just really trying. Okay, well, I'm just gonna let that do its thing. Let's go improve our iron mining, which is gonna be limited by the power, and then we'll go fix the power. And we do have 1 extra, which I guess I'll just place here. And now we officially really need to fix our power. So we have 2 of these. What else do we need? More copper. That wasn't even that much copper. Steal that. Good. Oh, that's going to use all our stone furnaces. So I guess I should steal some actual stone then, too. And we currently have 4. Let's make 6. So that's 10, and then let's make another 10. And that should hold us for a while. Probably. At least they're not going through fuel too quickly. Yeah, maybe making 10 of these is overkill, but that's for the best. Let's clear out some of this room, and we're going to expand. And that's right, we're going to get plenty of stone from these rocks, too. Alright, with all this room here, it's really interesting. I want some room. And I'm just going to split this, I think, Similar to the smelting setups. I don't have a good place. I think I'll bring the coal around the top, actually. Something like this. Then we sort of have room for another one if we need it. Let me just guarantee. Yeah, okay. So if we need another input, we have it. And then I'll have the output belt right here. And then this will have plenty of room to expand. I could use burner hands on these, but I really don't think it's a good idea. I could use at least one just as a backup, but if these are electric mining drills, then you'd have to hand fix it anyway, so I'm just going to use fast inserters, I think. Wrong one. Probably craft a few more of those while we're waiting. Yeah, I guess I'll even do just the power poles like the same way. Alright, this is good. I need to disconnect that, though. Whoops, that's fine. That's a real rock? Yep. And let's see how limited we are. I guess I'll also dump coal in myself. So in terms of output, the fast inserter is fine. In terms of inputs, it could be faster. But I think because we're going to have way more of these than we actually need, it's not a big deal. Like, we have way more of these processors than we're actually ever going to need. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll just leave it at 5, and then we can always add more. I know I can also dump my wood in here, but I kind of want to keep the wood. At least as much as I... Well, we're going to bring those two over. Means it's going to be an odd number, but that's not a big deal. And then what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to run the fuel line straight through the power generation. Sort of like here. And then on each side, these are just going to be here. And this way it will draw from the belt evenly on each side. Oh, would you look at that? It kind of worked out not too bad. And these are being fed by burner inserters. But that's still less efficient overall, so I'd rather use just regular inserters. And it's probably a good idea to pave this, at least like this section here. Because if I ever need to quickly deal with power, I should really like be able to just run through here. Be able to check out all of this stuff, you know? It would be awful if you like really needed to fix up your power quickly and you just couldn't get there fast enough. So this should help a little. I'd usually put it in the middle, but this is actually just easier to build. If I put it sort of like everything else. I'll just have to power it. Okay, and the good thing is, well, I think I'll have to just do one on each side. None of these are actually going to end up connecting. That's kind of funny. Maybe something like this with these awful power poles. I always like to be careful when I'm cutting through power poles because I like to retain the history in this chart. And if you, like, fully destroy the whole thing, then I think the history, like, goes away. I've had that happen before, so I think it's a real thing. But yeah, I'm always cautious when I'm shifting over my power so that I can retain that. Because it's just nice to have all that data. I'll connect a power pole here. I'll connect redundant ones over here. Because these are things that can never lose power. And that's funny that that's like my main power line. Although I do have this secondary one over here anyway, so it should be fine. And then this will just go away. And now, if we look at our ability, we literally just 10x'd our power. Because we were at 4 megawatts before, now we're at 40. Because we had 2 and now we have 20. That makes sense. Got that one, but we'll leave these. Okay, we might end up needing more coal, but that's something that we can solve. Just dump all of that. I don't want to hold it on me. Similarly, I just want to be able to walk around the coal place. And let's make a few more mining drills. That's cool. I still really like the fact that they added like a different power source in the beginning. So, because the problem with the normal game is, for so much of it, it's like, okay, you just skip past the burner stage, you go straight to steam power, and then you just hold steam power either until you have enough solar, and by that point you kind of usually have a decent bot base, or you have like full nuclear, which is like similar because of just the resources it takes. And so steam power is just such a huge portion of the game. Whereas at least with this, it's like, we have these, and then we're going to upgrade into steam, and then, yeah, really cool. Okay, let's grab some more copper. Gonna need some more stone brick. Even with all this iron, we still need more. It's classic. But at least it looks like our bus is making stuff. Pretty well. We don't really need undergrounds or splitters. Look at that now. That is what I like to see. We're going to be really limited because we need just green circuits. But I'd still like to make a few of those, even if it's not ideal. Now, we could probably make longhand inserters automatically, but I don't even think that's worth it because it only takes half a second to make, and like making these takes half a second. So I think if we have inserters and iron, it's pretty easy to make. The fast inserters will be similar. We'll just need to have green circuits automated, and then it shouldn't be a problem. In fact, now that we have plenty of belts, let's bring down the stone so that we have access to it, and so that those furnaces can dump out their products. And then we'll get more iron because of that. But once we have the stone, I think I'm just going to produce the stone tablets at the place because they make 4 in half a second. So it's more efficient to just carry the stone brick on a belt. Now we really do need to start worrying about expansion. We're getting close to the edges of the maps, and with all this new pollution, we're going to need radars soon, now that we actually have the power to deal with that. Jeez. Yeah, we're gonna want radars, which means we're going to need some gun turrets. I think we can still wait on that. I think I'd rather automate green circuits and steel first. Do we have the better electric poles yet? No. So we do have steel, but we're just waiting. And is this the better armor? Yeah. And again, steel. Well, I can probably automate ammo at least. That should be pretty easy to just throw in over here. That's not even the right spot. That's funny. But this will be important to have. And there'll be no shortage of it, so we can just make as much as it lets us. This uses so little copper. Okay. And now our stone bricks down here. What do I want to do now? Having green circuits would be really nice. I do want steel, and I do want to figure out the steel furnace. But we don't need the steel as soon. But I think I still would really like to have it figured out. So we're going to work on the steel furnaces. Even though the green circuits are kind of more important and more useful. I think the design's pretty simple. It's similar to what other people have done. It's going to be a little wide. Because it's basically just going to take iron ore in, which is funny because we need more iron ore. Okay, maybe I should automate drills first then. Mining drills should probably be automated first. And I don't want to extend this too high because it's going to... I mean, the footprint's not that wide. Okay, mining drills we definitely need first, though. So, burner mining drills. Oh boy. Okay. Let's just bring up the stone then. Whoops. Let's do something kind of dumb. Which, I don't think it's that stupid, but... just that. And then we'll have access to those. We're going to need burner mining drills, and then these, the electric motors and gears. Wow. But that's why they take so long to handcraft, because it's like one of these, you need to do all of that. So I definitely need these automated. Okay, burner mining drills, single cylinder engines. And the single cylinder engines need gears. Can I share this gear? I think so. So this will get us to here, and then burner mining drills. I think that also needs iron. This also needs iron, and it needs stone bricks. Nothing else is going to need stone bricks, so I'll just do something like this. And if I need it, I'll change it. I think I will need copper up there for the electric motors. So these will have to go straight into the electric mining drills, which are going to need their own gears, and their own electric motors, which needs their own gears and their own copper cable. Jeez. That's an interesting idea. I just had... let's see how this goes. If I make this gears... then I can do that. This doesn't actually need that. But it will need these. So that will deal with these gears, which means that this can be the electric motor, which can then have its own gears. And I'll do the same 2 copper wire recipe thing. And that should be it. That should all be spaghettied out. When I started working on a main bus, I was actually kind of worried because I really did want this series to be about spaghetti and just sort of doing crazy stuff. And I was worried that by having a main bus, it would be too organized. But now I see that's really just, I do not need to worry. This is still clearly plenty of spaghetti involved here. I kind of would like having some lamps. Glass for lamps. Oh, that's funny. I have this mod that gives different types of lamps, and those don't have the glass. So technically, those are actually easier. I mean, glass kind of does make sense, though. What was this missing? These? Which is missing iron. This is going to make a huge difference. Let's see how much faster this crafts. Look at... It's because if you think about it, right? The problem with this crafting system, which I do love, the first time I played this game, having that, like, queued up crafting is amazing. But the problem is it's sequential, right? So you have to do one, then the next, then the next. The benefit of automating, other than not having to do it by yourself, is that this can be crafted at the same time as this, at the same time as this, at the same time as this. And so overall, you save time because it's being done in parallel. This is already fast. Okay. Need more iron, probably. Well, we're definitely going to need more iron because if we're making steel, that's going to eat through it. Okay, our stone's doing good, but at least now we're consuming some of it. Oh, I see. We need more furnaces. I don't know what height it is. Honestly, let's just finish a full one. Yeah, sorry that I keep zooming in and out like that. It's because with my trackball, the scroll feels inverted. It's weird. When I'm normally using the scroll, it feels totally fine. But for some reason in this game, it feels inverted. Maybe that's just how the scroll is in general. Or something, I don't know. But yeah, so I usually go for the wrong one. We have enough inserters, and if not, I'll just take a trip down to inserter land. We're gonna need more power poles, though, so let's make those before we need them. It's always a good idea to try and make things before you actually need to use them, for obvious reasons. Time saving and all that. That one's wrong. I guess it's easiest to place the power poles just underneath these inserters, and that will tell you exactly where you need to place them. There we go. Now that should eventually give us a whole line of output. How's the power doing? Good. It's slowly working up. The problem is everything needs to be active. And now we have a full belt of output. Nice. So we have a belt and, I don't know, that's almost a half. It's a little less than a half. Which makes sense, because it is a little less than a half. And the input's being split. So even if this belt is full, it doesn't matter, so long as the whole is still moving. This drill is out. That's a weird one, so I'm just going to mine that little patch, get rid of it. Yeah, we're gonna need more coal. Well, need is a strong word. We could use more coal. Which is actually why I was making these in the first place. The worst possible way to place those when you're running opposite the belt. Oops. Actually, don't think I need to... No, I will pick it up. Okay. It's crazy how much faster walking on this is. But it makes sense because it's a sand biome, so... Alright, so we basically literally just doubled our coal input, so that should be fine. We had plenty to begin with, it's just... I'd like to see that belt a little bit more full. And now we're more able to manage all of our power demands. Okay, it looks like everything's doing pretty good. This copper belt is... I always hate this. I might end up putting a single lane belt balancer here. Oh my god, it goes the whole way. Okay, I'm putting a belt balancer in. If you've never seen these before, they're super useful. Let me show you. I can build these things from memory. You basically put a splitter, you put one of these, one of those. You pick either direction, it doesn't really matter. And then, because belts can only insert into one side of an underground, because this one, if you're visualizing this in 3D, right, like this is an arch that goes into the ground, this half of the belt can't enter it, but the other half can. I built it wrong. So what you can do is something like this. And what you're doing is you're taking the left half of this belt and the right half of this belt, which are actually the same belt. And so you're then making it so they just form a new one. And so what that means is this left half can fill the right half of this belt. And what that means is because all our inserters are taking from this side of the belt, well now, all of these furnaces, no matter what side they output onto, can fill that side of the belt. And so that's the benefit of having something like this, because without it, we'd only have like half throughput, because we'd only have half a belt of material. Theoretically, anything that's downrange of those inserters. But now, we can have this whole belt of output being fueled by either side. And the reason we have so much throughput is just because these are backed up. At least this side's backed up. But this other side isn't. So that just helps keeps things balanced. And there's tons of different designs. I found a book somewhere that includes a ton of different belt balancers. It's really nice. I don't know exactly where I got it from, so I can't, like, give a link. But it's really nice. It's really nice finding different belt balancers. But my recommendation is, at least for a starter base, just don't really worry about it too much. Like, I do have these splitters here, which are essentially doing the same thing as a balancer. But don't worry about it until you see a problem like I just saw. When you're making a proper base, though, hopefully you'll have played enough by that point that you'll recognize, okay, I should put a balancer over here, and I should put this certain balancer in this place. But you'll figure it out. The whole point of the game is seeing when you have a throughput limitation. Oh, look at that. When you have to see when there's some bottleneck somewhere and to find it. That's the whole point of the game. So the goal is to just sort of pay attention and figure it out. And we are going to need even more iron than this. Which is rough because we really just don't have the room. The good thing is we're going to be limited on copper, which means hopefully it won't block our iron too bad. Do something like this. Now the problem is, as we get to here, there's this little area of copper. So what I'm going to do is output like these onto this belt, since it's already being filtered. And in fact, I'll even move this one up so we get a little bit more. So that will help. And this little bit here is not going to be reached, though. So what I'm going to do is something stupid, just so I don't have to limit the rest of the iron. And see, this could end up with a similar problem of throughput on either side. But let me do this. And now we'll even get a little bit more iron here. This one I can't really do. I could fit another one in here. I think I will. But, no, I'll just send it out. It doesn't really matter. Send it out into the filter area. Similarly with the stone. Can I fit one more in there? Yeah. I'm trying to just get, like, about as much iron as I possibly can from this patch. And that's roughly as much as I can get. We still have that little area over there, but as we start mining things away, we'll be able to build in there. I mean, I could build in there, but then I'd have to add a filter to this, and I'd rather not. Oh, maybe if I did this, I just don't see where I'd output it to. Like, there's no way to get the belt out of there. So I'll just wait. Unless I did something like this. Oh, there we go. All right, and then we're actually mining like basically the whole iron patch. We are going to start getting throughput limitations, but that's okay. We are going to need a third iron belt. In fact, maybe 4 iron belts. But for now, we'll just deal with like the 3. And this will go into the steel. I could actually use a 3 to 2 here. Although maybe a 2 to 3. Because I'd like to bring this over sort of as is. Yeah, I'll do a... Oh, it is a 3 to 3. Because of the other one. Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Let me show you that book that I have. Alright, so I want to go in here. I want a 3 to 3 balancer. And this will also do lane balancing. This one will be a throughput unlimited. This one just looks the simplest. And sometimes, these are all designed with blue belts, so you will run into the issue sometimes where... you just don't have enough underground length. So just be cautious with that when you're using these books. I could use an upgrade planner so that I swap all of these to the yellow belt. But since I'm handcrafting it anyway, I'm just not too concerned. And there we go. And now this will roughly evenly balance these things. Kind of funny because I want these to be an input priority. I don't know if setting input priority breaks it. It really doesn't matter. I just want it to be roughly split. So even if this... I don't think it will. It shouldn't, right? Because everything beyond it's going to be the same. It's just saying that this input should be the least prioritized. So it should be okay. And it's not a big deal. Now we can, as we're approaching the 1 hour mark, we can work on the steel furnace. So it's going to start the same. I might need to add iron in this in the future, so I actually will give it, like, some buffer. Let's do, like, 1, 2... Let's add just, like, a little bit of room. Sometimes it's good to just have buffer. So that'll be the iron, and this will be the steel. And this will be the output. And because of the whatever it is that allows us to take fuel from this and put it into here, whether that's in the base game and I didn't notice, or it's with the inserter fuel leaching mod, that enables us to make this a lot simpler. How's that line up? Oh, perfect. Plenty of room. I don't want it to be too crazy. In fact, I kind of only want this many right now, I think. Because I really just don't want to steal all the iron. Even though it's not really a big deal, as if the steel isn't being used, then it's not going to matter. We need to take a trip down here. Oh my god, already? Look at that. This is definitely worth it. Wow. Okay, and having all that ammo will help us prepare for the turrets so that we can surround this place with turrets, get some radars, and actually see what's going on. The power is good. And then we're clearly just going to have to do a ton of conquering. So powering this is going to be a little different than the other one. Not really a big deal. I guess I just do something like this. Just going to need more poles. Let's do this, but first I want to actually get it working. And I don't plan on having more, so for now I'm just going to directly run that in there. And here we go. Now we just have to wait the fun march of iron. And let's see, the inputs are good. Clearly, we're going to run into issues, though, because it's obviously not a full 3 belts of input, so we can't provide a full 3 belts of output. But so long as these are partial smelters for these two, it should be fine. Let's see. These actually do have fuel in them, which is all that matters. And eventually they'll produce enough so that we start smelting steel. And the good thing is, because the steel smelting is so slow, by the time it finishes, hopefully it has enough input. Or at least roughly enough input. I mean, it looks like it. It looks like that's exactly the ratio. The ratio is exactly designed so that something like this does work. And because we don't need that extra fuel in the middle, it's even simpler. Out of belts, too. That's crazy. We were replacing a lot of these. Nice. Alright, now we actually have our main bus. Everything is being produced in some quantity. Maybe I'll make another stone path up to the right side of that. Because I don't plan on having any more furnaces. So let's just bring this up. Yeah, for now I'll bring it up and then we'll just have to move it to the left. I don't know, something. I don't know how to make it look good, but I'll do that in a moment. Something like this, and then, I don't know, like that. I don't know, the size is kind of weird. It's fine. Well, that was a mess. Grab more. Grab a lot more. That's probably enough. Wow, that's not even as much as it seems. I would like some lamps, though. Even if I just use the modded lamps I have that are cheaper than this other mod would make them, it's probably fine. It does seem funny, though, that the larger lamps are actually cheaper. Then, I don't know, just a diagonal. Wow, that's crazy how close that was. I did not plan that. It's 1 block difference. That's so funny. Well, that's fine. It's pretty good, all things considered. Look how nice this glow is. Power should be doing decently, but we are up to almost double in terms of demand. We're almost double our original production for the day. So I'm definitely glad I went to 40 now. How's the coal? Perfect. That's what I want to see. I want to see the fuel so backed up that the coal is backed up too. That's great. Okay. So I think that's going to be basically everything. Let's just take one more look at our steel. It's going to be basically everything for this episode. We did a good amount. We just automated tons of essential things, including steel. We'll definitely have to bring this down as time goes on. But yeah, look at that. We actually have a decent amount of steel, and I can drop this original piece onto the belt to be used for other good things in the future. Which we don't really even have any recipes that use it yet, because we just need to actually get to green research. So in the next episode, hopefully, we'll be automating electric circuits, and we should hopefully start our green research. Although I may take a pause if I start doing some military expansion. And we can say hi to the neighbors, and I don't think they're gonna like us very much. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I had a lot of fun, and I'll see you in the next video.